Considered a serial entrepreneur who strives to not only succeed in her business, but to help other women to succeed as well. Stephannie Addo. She covers everything from starting a business to expanding. Wife, mother of 3, U.S. Army veteran, and an entrepreneur. Can a woman really have it all? Stephannie Addo proves that it is possible. With our sit-down discussion, she explains how.
So, like many others, entrepreneurship is birthed out of necessity. And when I had my son, at the time I was in school and I just recently gotten married. And when I had him, I was looking for a job. I had extensive experience through teaching, but I could not find a job that was willing to pay, what I was worth. I saw that I met the qualifications of opening up my own residential daycare. So for me, it was a no-brainer because now I'm able to stay home with my son, do the thing I love, which is teaching, and make 5 times as much as what others were offering. So once I opened up the first residential daycare, I realized that I really love business a lot. I found my passion through opening up my own residential daycare, and from there I ended up doing my after-school program, which I serviced a multitude of children in the Bronx. And with people seeing how well I was doing in business, many people started coming to me asking me for business advice and how can they go about opening their business. And public speaking came about because I just feel like everyone has a story, and your story can inspire somebody else to move on and do the things that they need to do in their life, right? So I love to go and speak to other entrepreneurs, other organizations, other mothers, and let them know it's okay to live your dream. It's okay to go after what you want to go after. I got a lot of exposure through the military, and they have great opportunities for veterans that want to be entrepreneurs. I was exposed to learn from people, CEOs of top Fortune 500 companies, and I was sent to University of Connecticut where I was mentored and trained by these different professionals of entrepreneurs that teach you differently from the colleges. Like, you're learning from experienced people that are actually in the field.
So you mentioned that you have done the after-school program and so forth. So what other services have you had to offer? Like, what other services you went into?
My main thing right now is business coaching, and I'm developing a nonprofit called Champs for Autism, which is in honor of my son. My child is 9 years old. He had his diagnosis of autism from 18 months. And at the time, it was very hard to find services for him, and the services are extremely slow in the Bronx and in New York in general. So myself and another mother got together and decided to start Champs for Autism, where we will be opening up a much needed service. It will offer community habilitation, respite, and also family education for parents with children with autism.
With all the many services and duties that Stephannie Addo have under her belt, she was also forced to deal with her son's unfortunate diagnosis of having autism.
I was exposed to autism at an early age. I had a family member whom he had autism, so I was definitely aware of the disability. But it's one thing to be aware of someone else that has a disability and have your own child that has a disability. I also had professional experience with adults with developmental disabilities. So when I saw my son wasn't developing well, I was the one that referred him. I didn't wait for a doctor or anything to tell me to refer him. I was the one that referred him to be evaluated. Navigating the field is very hard, with listening to one person telling you to do it this way, listening to somebody else telling you to do it that way. As far as fighting back and forth with the city every 5 minutes to get the services, that part is the most challenging one because for my son, it took him about 6 months to even get into his early intervention school to start getting the services. So that part was very, very hard for us. And the most thing that I can say to other parents is, you know, you have what the therapists say, what the doctors say about your child, but I'm a believer in God, and I believe that God has the final say of all things. So, you know, when my son was diagnosed, they told me that he's nonverbal. They also told us don't push him too much when it comes to education or potty training, right? But God, the way God had it is my son is talking, you know. We worked with him, my husband and I worked with him diligently. He is talking, he can advocate for himself, you know. It's maybe not the best for a 9-year-old, but it's great for him. My number one goal is definitely to get Champs for Autism off the ground. Children with autism have a chance in life, you know. Unfortunately, the New York City public schools do not give them that extra exposure, that valid chance that they really need. They have great abilities, but we as parents, we as professionals have to be able to tap into that.
Stephannie Addo shows us drive and passion, empowers us all. This is Kate Aloy Knight. Join us next time here on Out in the Open.